Here's how to use Claude Code free forever. So what you can see over here inside my agent OS is that we have Claude Code set up for free, and this is using free Claude Code. So for example, if we say, are you working? It says, yes, I'm working. I'm Al, ready to help you with any questions you need, tasks, etc. What can I assist you with today? It just said, say the words first and blah, 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 right? Now we can actually use a version that's been rewritten and remade for Claude Code, and it's open source and free. Plus, we can plug in a free API into that, and then we can use this in a really powerful setup. So I'm going to show you a simple system that runs the Claude Code CLI for free and wires it into your context, your memory, your vaults, your tools. So you get the same Claude Code experience, but you get it for free, and it's powered by a free API called Owl Alpha, which is a free 1 million context token model designed for agentic work, right? So you basically own the stack, and you can plug it into all your other AI agents. You can see, for example, we have OpenClaw, we have Hermes, we have Gemini, we have Anti-Gravity, we have Claude Code, we have our goals set up, we have SEO tools inside here, a full studio for generating videos, images, and text-to-speech, notebook LM with videos and podcasts ready to go. We've got a Kanban board full of agent systems, right? Crazy powerful stuff. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can build this out today and how you can set this up with free Claude Code. So let's get into this. What is it about, etc.? How can you get to use it? So basically what we're using here is this open source project. It's called Free Claude Code. It's based on a way of using Claude Code CLI, but with a different API. So it routes the messages to any provider that you want. Now, why does that matter? Basically, you get the full power, the full agent harness of Claude Code, but you get it for free now because you can plug it into a free API. How do you get a free API? You can use something called Owl, right? Owl Alpha is a free API you can use with these AI agents, and then you can plug it into Claude Code, and boom, shakalaka, you have a free Claude Code ready to go whenever you need it. Right? Now, it gets way more interesting than that, but that's basically the basics. So you've got Claude Code for free, open source, ready to go on GitHub. And then you also have Owl Alpha, which is free, ready to go, plug into free Claude Code. Pretty cool. All right, so let me guide you through the whole process. Now, let's talk about this. So most people think Claude Code only works one way. They think that, for example, you have to use Anthropic to use it. They think the CLI is locked to one model provider, and they think if they want to switch to a free model, they have to give up the Claude Code experience entirely. None of that's true, because there's an open source project called Free Claude Code, which you can see over here. And with this, essentially, it's basically a way of routing Claude Code CLI to whatever models you want, including free models, right? And the free model that we're using today is Owl Alpha. Now, Owl Alpha has 1 million token context window, native tool use. It's built for AI agents, and it's currently free on OpenRouter. So when you plug free Claude Code into your agent operating system, which we've got over here, you get a Claude Code CLI that is free and a brain that remembers everything. Right. So you might be wondering, okay, what is agent operating system? So this is a system that I've built. It's like a mission control dashboard, right? And so we've got Claude, we've got OpenClaw, we've got Hermes, we've got our goals, journals, etc. We can click on any one of these and just switch between all of our AI agents. And the cool thing about this is, for example, we can actually create these different tools and workflows based on that, right? And so everything links together. And instead of going from Hermes in one terminal to Claude Code in another terminal to, for example, OpenClaw on your gateway and then messing around with anti-gravity, that which is not very efficient, super time consuming, you can just plug all of this into one system. So let me break down the plain English translation. You have Claude Code CLI, the official terminal tool from Anthropic for coding with AI. Then you have free Claude Code, which is an open source way to access Claude Code with free API providers. You have Owl Alpha, which is free 1 million context window model on OpenRouter designed for agentic workloads. For example, you could use this with Hermes, OpenClaw, Keeler Code, Root Code. And then you have Agent Operating System, which is a custom dashboard that wraps the Claude Code CLI and gives you memory contacts, vaults, journals, Kanban boards, etc., for your AI agent teams in one place, right? It looks beautiful as well. Now, if you want to build your own agent operating system, you can. You could actually use free Claude Code to help you do that. Most people are using AI like it's 2024. They're paying for models you don't need to. They're paying for using CLIs you don't need to. Right? Whereas you can plug in these free APIs, which is what you're learning about today, and then you can use the power of Claude Code, but with the free Claude Code CLI, which is pretty amazing. So I also want to talk to you about the Goldie stack here as well, right? So the cool thing about this is you have the CLI working locally, you have the API, and you have your own memory and your own connections to your own tools, right? And so you have this sort of four-pillar stack, like you can see right here, where it's you, Claude Code, and that goes over to our Alpha. And this is an agent operating system in between that connects everything together. So you got your memory, your contacts, your Obsidian, SEO Studio, Video Studio, right? Kanban, Journal, everything built in, like you can see inside the agent operating system. And so there's four pillars to this, like I've said, right? So number one is the brain, which is our Alpha. That's the model. It's free, 1 million token context window, supports native tool use. Then you have free Claude Code, which helps you use different models with Claude Code. You have the memory and connections, which is Obsidian. And basically, if you're not sure about this and what it means, etc., you can see an example of it here, right? So this is basically like a map of all of my knowledge, right? Everything linked together, which is pretty amazing. And it goes really deep, as you can see right here. You can see like all the people that we work with. You can see everything about me. You can see, for example, all the tools that I use inside this knowledge base, right? This is actually linked to Obsidian, and it can pull different memories and give all of my AI agents across all of my stacks full access and context on me, right? Now, you might say, why is that important? Essentially, agent operating system puts this all in a custom dashboard. So free Claude Code shows up as its own agent in the sidebar here. And then any conversations you have with it are saved to Obsidian. The memory is persistent and it's wired into your Obsidian Vault, right? And basically, this becomes the brain, right? And the cool thing about this is the more you improve your memory by using these AI agents, the better the memory becomes. The better the memory becomes, the more powerful and the more context your agents are going to get, right? And that's what it's about, really. It's about having just an amazing system to train all of your AI agents on everything in your life so that it can give you custom automations, right? So if I go over to Hermes or any of these other AI agents and I'm like, what are the best things I could automate today? It can just scroll through my memory and be like, mate, why are you spending all your time on this? Go and automate that. And it has that context that no one else can have it. I actually call that the infinite context engine. And it's basically set up with this process right here. You see, we've got a full guide and a video tutorial on how to use it right there. Now, why does this framework matter? Basically, you have an open source CLI, right? You have a free model, you have a memory, and it gives you a lot of freedom, right? Which is really powerful. I can customize this dashboard way more than I could, for example, like customize Claude Code Desktop, right? I can't customize Claude Code Desktop. It's not open source. Now, some people will never try this. In fact, most people watching this probably never try this because they believe the wrong things, right? So I'm going to break 6 myths on this right now based on what I'm talking about. So number one, some people say Claude Code only works for Anthropic. You have to pay per token. Actually, Claude Code talks to any model, right? And you can route Claude Code to any model, including our Alpha, which is free on OpenRouter. Some people say 3 models a week. They're useless for agentic work. Actually, the right belief here is like our Alpha is 1 million tokens of context, native tool use. It's purpose built for agents. You got Hermes, you got OpenClaw, Kilo Code, Root Code, all run on it for production. So it's pretty good. Other people say setting this up sounds scary. Honestly, one command can install it. You can actually just go into, for example, like Claude and get it set up for you if you want, if you're not sure how to get started, or just follow the instructions on the page right here. Right? Other people say if I leave Claude, I lose my chat history and everything else. Actually, you get a better memory and a better persistent memory using the Obsidian system that I've given you here. Right? This is way more powerful, way more useful. This is going to outlast any other tool because it's all belonging to me. Right? It's a full system, a full memory setup that we've got right here, and we can just organize it and we can have all of our memories and our notes put together easily in one place. Right? And whether I switch to Gemini or anti-gravity, let's say something new comes out tomorrow, boom, we can plug in the memory system. Seriously powerful. Now, some people say, okay, our Alpha will disappear and I'll be stuck. Actually, there's new providers that are free coming out all the time, right? So News Research, for example, they had one last week, which was Quen 3.6, and now they've just released another one, which was Step 3.5, right? So there's new models coming out all the time, and you can just plug any of them into free Claude Code. So basically, the cost of running AI is collapsing, right? And people who set up the right architecture today basically have a free AI stack forever, right? Now, this is really cool because when it comes to the free part here, free Claude Code is open source under an MIT license, and our Alpha is a free model on OpenRouter, right? And that's how we get both of this for free. And also, the other cool thing about this is whilst other people are running out of tokens and limits on Claude Code because they're on the plans, you're running the same CLI through the same workflow, but you're doing it for free. right? You basically help yourself reduce costs, and all of this setup requires less resources essentially to set up. Okay, we've got a full setup guide here, as you can see. I've shown you proof that actually works. And you might also say, why would you use free Claude Code inside Agent Operating System? The CLI alone is powerful, undeniably, but the CLI inside Agent OS is like a different category of thing, because inside Agent OS, free Claude Code becomes its own agent at the sidebar, right? Sitting next to your other AI agents. So we've got Claude, OpenClaw, Hermes, Gemini, Anti-Gravity, free Claude Code. Again, whatever comes out tomorrow, we can plug in. And so you can click it, see a chat panel. It feels and looks so simple and easy, but you've got everything stored there, right? So if I create any websites with, for example, anti-gravity, you can see that I've got everything plugged in here and I can preview it whenever I want. And so it's all connected to everything else inside your agent OS. So you have also inside here, you've got the persistent memory. So conversations survive, page refreshes and tab switches, right? You have Obsidian, so the agent can read and write your Obsidian notes. Every conversation can update your knowledge base. Then you have your contacts. You can actually wire in your contacts and everything else. You can add in your calendar and schedule. You've also got the studio section here, so you can generate images, videos, and speech all through the stack, right? And then also we've got the Kanban board here. So we've got a multi-agent task management system where basically you can drop a one-liner in triage and then watch the orchestrator hand out tasks and automate it. Top of that, we have the auto-logged journal diaries over here, right? So we have these journals here. So the agent reads yesterday's journal to plan today. And we have a live status section here. So we can just make sure everything's working and connected properly inside the dashboard as well. Right. And so the other cool thing about this is like you don't have to learn a new CLI, you don't have to manage API keys, you don't have to copy and paste between apps. You just open Agent Operating System, click free Claude Code in the sidebar and ask anything, right? And that could be memory, contacts, vault, journal. They're all available in one single chat. So we've actually got a full step-by-step guide. And if you want to set this up and install it, etc., it's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just to recap here, in terms of everything, in one glance, everything that you just learned. So you got pillar one, which is Owl Alpha, which is a free model. You've got free Claude Code, which is the free open source CLI. You have Agent Operating System, which wraps the stack with memory, contacts, vault, your other agents, and the journal. You also know that the more you build into this system, and when you create it yourself, you can improve it every day, right? So it's a system that just gets better and better. So, for example, one thing that I built in recently was being able to create SEO content and then just deploy it to all of my websites, like you can see right here, right? And these websites are ranking pretty nicely with SEO. So that's the sort of stuff you can build in as you improve it more and more over time. And then this is all free, as I mentioned before. And you've also got like the skills and everything else, right? So you have the studio, the Kanban, the journal, all on the free stack. So thanks for watching. If you want to get the full guide from today, the setup instructions, etc., we've got that all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Like you can see here, we have the Agent Operating System video tutorial prompts and files that you can give to Claude to set it up. And that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Inside the community, you can ask questions, get help and support whenever you need to. Inside the classroom, you can get all of my new free trainings, like you see here. So all of my trainings on the new stuff, like for example, the daily updates, where we add new advanced daily tutorials. We have the beginner to expert AI automation guide here. We have all of the automations that I personally use. And then we additionally have an AI SEO section here as well. Right? Link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboardroom.com to get access. Link in the comments description, or go to the aiprofitboardroom.com to get access.